Hello everyone, NeoRox87 here, and welcome to my How I Made It video. Here in part 1 I'm going to cover my wheel layouts and my flipper. So to start with, I got out here one of my round 1 pieces. These are pasted onto a piece of mat board that is about 1/16 of an inch thick. I purchased these online and bought about 20 or so sheets that were about 30 by 40 inches. What we did was we used a tool called a dial caliper to cut these, or to trace these rather. What a dial caliper is, basically it's a big compass. I'm going to provide a link to Wikipedia for you guys to read more about them. But like I said, they're basically a compass. So once we traced them all out, we used a razor blade to cut them, because I'm going to warn you, trying to cut this stuff with the scissors is no fun. So, and then we did the same with the centers here, like this. And how we got the wedges on here was I used a glue stick. I was thinking about using regular glue, but I thought if I was going to use that, it was going to kind of clump together and it'd be showing through and stain, and I didn't want that. So I thought glue stick would work better. I'm going to tell you guys something. These are not my original wheel pieces. If you go back to one of my original videos, I believe I posted it about June of last year, and I had shown you guys a couple pictures of one of my wheels and saying that I had completed one of them. Well, those we took apart because the glue was not sticking, and that they were too big for my wheel. They weren't going to fit. And plus, yeah, like I said, the glue wasn't sticking. We used some Scotch glue. I can't recommend that. That stuff just did not work very good. In fact, I have my original wheel pieces right here. As you can see here, see how that end kind of sticks up? I'll show you guys this wheel in an attempt to place it on my wheel. It wouldn't have fit, because when I first had these made, I didn't have the nails in my wheel yet, and when I set it down and lined it up with the circle we drew on it, which I'll show you guys later, I lined it up with the circle on one end, which is probably about a ½ inch inward from the outside of it, and the other side was hanging off the edge, so those weren't going to fit. So back to this piece. How I did each wedge individually, printed them out in groups by color and all that, but that's circumstantial. I did that because my original plan was, which failed miserably, that each wedge would be its own separate piece, because some wedges would be seen on multiple layouts, and that didn't work out too well. So then I decided to go to this version, and these images you see here are in their original size. I did not blow these up at all. These were provided to me by German Name 1990. They were created by, what I remember, somebody who had asked to remain anonymous. I don't even know who this person is, which is fine with me. So, and I designed these to be more like the nighttime version from the 90s and 80s, because I figured I'd like to use the nighttime version more than the daytime. And I do have, like I showed you before, I do have the excuse me, I do have the wedges, the add-on wedges, to make it the daytime version. So, And in like my last video I showed you, in case you were wondering why I didn't have my round 1 wheel out there, I'll show you why. Because I did these back to back, just so I had less this stuff to cut. And like I said before, this is no fun trying to cut this with the scissors. Trust me. So, also, since I have everything out here, I can finally show you guys my Bob Goen era daytime Wheel of Fortune wheels. So here's one of them. I'm gonna tell you guys a little something about this free spin wedge. Like I said, these images were provided to me by German-Name 1990, and the original free spin wedge here was the same color as the one I just showed you on my other wheel piece. Well, after I had done that, Germany 1990 had done a deviation over on DeviantArt.com, and which had I think it was Bob Goen era, like doubled values or something, and he had the free spin wedge, and a yellow one, because the other one is tan. So I borrowed that, and I had to blow up the picture to match the size, and it didn't quite work out too well. As you can see, there's some white gaps in between there. So, but anyway, one difference between this and my other wheel pieces is, which I forgot to tell you guys before, that these, my round 1 wheel, we added some little pieces of mat board in between on one end of them, because, why can't I find that now? It's on one of these. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but we added little slivers of mat board here, just because they were just a tick too small and the wedges were hanging off the edge there. So what we did was we made an attempt to what's the word I'm looking for? To solve the problem, if you will. And when we did my Bob Goen wheel, we trimmed some of the wedges just a little bit. And so to fix that problem, and they don't work out too well. When I put them on my wheel, there's a big gap in between them, and the wedges are all off center to the spokes in the wheel. So I am considering redoing these, so I'll see what the future brings on that. Let's see, what else was I gonna say? Like on this, just like my other wheels, I did these back to back as well. And for round 3, and here's my other piece, the original images that Germany 1990 sent me didn't, they were too small compared to the other ones that he sent me. So what I did was, from the other layouts I had from round 1, 2, 3, and 4 from the nighttime wheel, or daytime, if you go back to the 80s, that most of the wedges there are found on the other, like this, you know, like here's round 1, you got this tan $100 space here, and then in round 3 and 4, here it is on this one. So what I did was I just printed out extras of those and pieced them all together on the wheel here, with the exception of a few though. This one right here, this orange $300 space, I custom made that on the computer. At the time I did this, I didn't have the programs or the fonts to do it, to do any customizing. So what I did was, this is originally a $350 space from round 1 from the nighttime version. And what I did was I copied the 0 and I pasted it up here, and then just did a little editing around the edges, and then I had a $300 space. I did that, and let's see, and then on this piece right here, you may notice the font here on this tan $300 space here looks a little smaller than the other font there. That's because that's from one of the original images he sent me. I blew that one up to make it that size because I didn't have an existing wedge to work with to make my own. So I did that there. I've also did a few customized add-on wedges. I'll show you those in a minute. Let's see, what do we have for time? Alright, we got some time left. Also, what I have here for you, and I never showed you guys this before, that I have, I don't remember what it is. It's either 1979 or 1980, I don't know. I've seen two different things on the internet. The round one wheel from 1979 or 1980. Here's one part, and then I have this one done. I finished this quite a while ago, and I forgot to tell you guys about it. I apologize for that. The only downside is I don't have any add-on wedges to make these into the nighttime versions. Or I don't have the other ones made. The other wheel, rounds 2 and 3, because these are still blank on the back here. And actually, since I don't have anything on the back of these, I can show you what I did. I added the little slivers of mapboard in between there. Between there and the edge. So that's that. And I still have plenty more pieces here to do more wheel layouts in the future. So that'll keep me busy. Next, I'm going to show you my flipper, and I'm going to have to make this quick because I'm going to run out of time here by the time I'm done with this. What we did was we took some pieces of plywood that we had laying around out in the garage, and we cut them to an appropriate size and height. In fact, I have some other ones that I want to use in the future that I haven't painted yet. So this works out nice. What we did was we took them to work, because my dad's a machinist, and we angle cut them in the belt sander. So you get that nice angle right there. Took a couple of tries to get it though. So what we did was we could just piece them together like this, and then we screwed them together, which I'll show you. We screwed them together, and we screwed the top on too. I was looking around. I didn't find any other top pieces for this. I don't know if I must have either misplaced them, or I don't know what else happened to them. So I guess I'll just have to make new ones. So that's how we did that. We spray painted it red. I have more spray paint to do yellow and blue ones eventually. And this, the whole flipper mechanism here, is we cut a little piece out under here and put a bolt through there. And this this is a piece of polyurethane that was, my dad drew it out, made a nice teardrop shape to it, and then he cut it in the belt sander, I think. Maybe not, I don't remember. And then we used the nut up here, and underneath here we have a few washers just to give it a little height. And then two little screws on the side here and here, and then two more little brass screws that are now painted red up here, and the rubber band holding it in place. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, since my last video I did this, I had to put a new rubber band in here because the other one broke. So